Good morning, children. This is 8th Science, chapter 12. So take out your science books, page number 198. The chapter is Chemical Effects of Electric Current. Chemical Effects of Electric Current. So, electricity. So, in our house, we see the fan, the tube lights, the refrigerators, TV, all working due to electricity. So what is electricity? So electricity is the movement of charges through a body, right? When we say wind current is due to the motion of the wind. And the water current is due to the motion of the water. Suppose the water is falling from a that is a waterfall from a mountain, from a height. So as the water is falling from due to the height difference, that is your water current. So similarly, electric current. So again here also something should be moving. So what is that something that moves, which produces the electric current? So the charges, the electrical charges are the ones whose movement causes or produces electricity. So electricity is due to the movement of charges through a body, because the charges are moving, and because of the motion of the charges, electricity is produced. Okay. So electric current is due to the flow of electric charges. So here short 1 mark question can be framed that what is electricity and what is current. So electricity is the movement of electric charges through a body due to the movement of what? Charges, right children? And electric current is the flow of electric charges. Okay children? Chalo. Next, all the substances, you can classify them into two categories based on whether they allow the current to pass through them or they do not allow the current to pass through them. So, good conductors or conductors, they are the substance which are very good to whom? To current. They are very good to current. So, they will allow the current to pass through them, right? Bad conductors or insulators, they are bad, right? They are bad to whom? They are bad to the flow of current. They do not allow the current to pass through them, right? This we have studied in our lower classes. So let's continue. So substance which allow electric current to pass through them are called your conductors. So steel, aluminium, copper, iron, gold, silver, all metals, they come under conductors. They allow the electricity to pass through them. Right children? And substance which do not allow electricity to pass through them are your insulators. The examples of insulators are wood, cloth, plastic, rubber, glass, right? So all non-metals, they come under insulators, right? So these are your conductors and insulators. So you should understand the definition plus their examples, right? Now, science book page number 199, you can see activity 12.1, and this is your activity to test whether wood is a insulator or a conductor. Insulator means bad conductor, means it does not allow the current to pass through them, or a conductor. Conductor means it allows, right? So let's see This is our aim. Now let's see what is the procedure, means how we are going to do it. So in the procedure, what you are having is, okay, what you require. So children, we require a dry cell, means this is your dry cell, the cell that you use in your remotes, in your toys, right? So what you're going to use? You are going to use a dry cell. Then you require an electric bulb. You require a bulb. And then you require some wires to connect them. And you require the wooden block because you are going to check whether wood is an insulator or a conductor. So you require some wooden material, right? Okay, fine. Then what do we need to do? Then children, we require to arrange the circuit as shown here. That is, with the cell, we are connecting the bulb with the help of wires. These are my wires. So when we are connecting, we see that the bulb glows, right? Now, then between the wires, we are placing a wooden block. Now, on placing the wooden block, we will see that the bulb does not glow. The bulb is not glowing. So what does it mean? That the wood is not allowing the current to pass through them. And as the current did not pass through the wood, the circuit was not complete. The flow of current was not complete. And as the circuit was not complete, the current did not complete its path, the bulb did not glow. So wood is a insulator. Wood does not allow current to pass through them and the bulb does not glow. This proves that wood is an insulator, right? So this was your beta activity number 12.1 on page number 199, right? Now, before we proceed to activity 12.2, we will first perform the activity 12.3, right? In activity 12.3, as we tested in 12.4, 12.1, that whether wood is an insulator or a conductor, here we are going to check of different liquids, whether the different liquids, they allow the current to pass through them or they do not allow. Means we are going to test different liquids, whether they are conductor or they are insulator. So what we are going to do? We are going to set up, and our setup would be like this. What we are going to do is, we are going to take a container. This is our container, right children? And here, these are your two wires, and this wires we are connecting here with a cell. This is a symbol of a cell. Battery jo lagti na beta in your remotes. This is a symbol for that. And this is the symbol for bulb. ये bulb का symbol है, right beta? So like this we are setting up a circuit, right? Now in this container, Surya Pratap, please stop writing on my screen. So children, on this container, inside this container, we are going to fill the liquids one by one. First, we will fill it with distilled water. Then we will fill it with aerated drink. Then we will fill it with cooking oil. Then we will put some vinegar in it. And we will check the bulb glows or not. Understood the setup? So let's start with it. So sabse pehle, we are going to start with the distilled water. So let's fill this beaker with distilled water. And on filling the vessel with the liquid water, we saw that the bulb does not glow. means distilled water is not allowing the electric charges to flow through them. It is not allowing the current to flow through them. And so your circuit is not complete. And so the bulb does not glow. Right, children? So here you can see a tick. Right? That bulb does not glow. So distilled water is a insulator. Right, children? Now, second, we are going to fill with aerated drink. We are going to fill with aerated drink. Aerated drink is your cold drinks and that's all, right? So if we fill the vessel with that, what we will see is the bulb glows. Oh God. So your aerated drinks are conductors. Yes. Okay. Then we are removing it and then we are filling it with cooking oil. Okay. We took cooking oil from Mama's kitchen and we are putting it and we are checking it. So what did we see? We saw that the bulb does not glow. So cooking oil is an insulator. Cooking oil is an insulator because the bulb is not glowing, right? So similarly, we are performing the experiment for vinegar, kerosene, milk and alcohol. We are putting these liquids into the beaker over here and we are checking whether the bulb glows or not. And if the bulb glows, means the liquid is allowing the current to pass through them, means it is a conductor. And if the bulb does not glow, means the liquid is not allowing the current to pass through them. And so it is a insulator. So children, this is the result for your activity 12.3. This is your result, children, for your activity 12.3. Right, children? Now, we will switch to activity 12.2. Activity 12.2, let's read it. What's its aim? To test whether water conducts electricity or not. So, children, here we are testing whether water is a conductor or water is an insulator. That we are going to check over here. Right, children? Okay, so again the same setup, children. So in this setup here, in the beaker, we are filling water, right? And over here, we are filling the tap water, right, children? Tap water. We are not filling it with the distilled water as we did in the previous activity, that is activity 12.3. We saw that on filling the distilled water, the bulb does not glow, means distilled water is an insulator. Now we are performing the activity for the tap water, right, children? Chalo. So what happens? We are connecting the circuit as shown in the figure. Here we are putting the cells, the battery. Here we are connecting a bulb with the help of wires. And here is a vessel in which we are going to pour the liquid which we are going to test. And here the liquid that we are going to test is the tap water. Right, children? Now, on dipping the free ends of the wire into the tap water, what do we see? We see that the bulb glows. Oh God! With distilled water, the bulb did not glow. And with tap water, the bulb glows. As with the tap water, the bulb is glowing. It means that the tap water is allowing the electric current to flow through them. इसीलिए तो ना यहाँ से जो current आया, इसमें गया, it is moving through water and then it is going in this direction and it is reaching the bulb. Right? It is reaching the bulb and the bulb is glowing. Means tap water allow कर रहा है. Tap water is allowing electricity to pass through them. Right? And so tap water is a conductor. Tap water is a conductor. And distilled water is not a conductor. Oh God. What is this? Huh? Tap water is a good conductor. Yes. Distilled water is a poor conductor. Why so? Why is this happening? Okay. Now we know, children, that distilled water is your pure water. And tap water, it has many salts dissolved in it, many impurities in it, right, children? So when we conducted the same experiment, that for tap water, for rainwater, for sea water, we saw that the bulb glows, and for distilled water the bulb did not glow. This is because the tap water, the rainwater, and the sea water, it contains many salts dissolved in it, and these salts, they conduct electricity. But in distilled water, beta, we do not have any salts dissolved in it, so it does not conduct electricity. Rainwater, let's see, talk about rainwater. Now rainwater, when it enters the atmosphere, it absorbs the acidic gases. Rainwater absorbs carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide from the air, and it forms weak acids, right? It forms nitric acid, sulfuric acid, right? And due to the presence of acid in the rain, it conducts electricity. All acids, all bases, they conduct electricity, right? And we know because of the acid rain only, the Taj Mahal, the monument, is getting black, right, children? Similarly, tap water. Tap water, we know it's not a pure form of water. It contains small amount of salts and minerals in it, and this salts and minerals, they conduct electricity. Similarly, children, seawater. Seawater, we know it has more salt as compared to tap water. उसमें बहुत सारे salts होते हैं, and these salts, they conduct electricity. So, children, scientists are into the process of getting electricity from the seawater. They are trying to do that, right? So, from this, we can conclude that distilled water is a bad conductor of electricity, or it is an insulator, while the rainwater, tap water, and sea water, it contains the salts dissolved in it which conduct electricity, and so they are good conductors of electricity, right? So I hope this part is clear, that distilled water is a insulator, and rainwater, tap water, and sea water, they are good conductor of electricity. Now, conductivity in liquids, we saw na, many liquids, they were able to conduct. When we filled the vessel with the liquid, few of the liquids, the bulb glue, right? It means they conduct electricity. So we will call those liquids as electrolytes. Means जो liquid electricity को conduct करते हैं, which allow the electricity to pass through them, they are known as electrolytes. उनको क्या बोलेंगे बेटा? उन liquids को क्या बोलेंगे? Electrolytes. Right, children? And those liquids which do not conduct electricity means जो electricity produce नहीं कर रहे हैं, जो इनमें से electricity pass ही नहीं हो रही है. So, example, distilled water. The bulb did not glow, na children? So, as the bulb did not glow, it means it is not allowing the electricity to pass through it. So, those liquids are known as non-electrolytes. So, non-electrolytes are those liquids which do not conduct electricity, which do not allow the electricity to pass through them. And electrolytes are those liquids which allow electricity to pass through them. Okay, children? Okay. Now, in electrolytes, we are having two types, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. So, as the name says, strong electrolytes means they will allow the electricity to pass through them easily. So they are good conductors. Oh, very nice. Very good conductors. But children, so strong electrolytes, they are very, very good conductors, right? So example, salt solution, right? Weak electrolytes, they conduct electricity, yes. But the bulb, if it is of big power, right? The bulb you are connecting in the circuit, if it is of high power, then it will not glow. But if you are putting a bulb of 0 watt, छोटा सा bulb लगाते हो, which consumes very less power, then it glows. What does it mean? That liquid is conducting electricity, but the electricity which it conducts is very, very less. बहुत कम electricity वो खुद से pass होने देता है. It allows very less current to pass through them, but it is allowing, right? So as it is allowing, it is an electrolyte, but it is an weak electrolyte. Okay, children. So which liquids will conduct electricity? So all acids, all base and all salts will conduct electricity. So from this, what we will summarize? We will summarize what is electrolyte and examples of electrolyte. So what is electrolyte? Electrolyte is a liquid, yes, which conducts electricity, and undergo decomposition. This term undergo decomposition, I will explain you in the coming topic, right? In that we will be able to understand what is this decomposition. But for the time being, you just keep in your mind that what is electrolyte? It is a liquid which conducts electricity. Examples, solution of acids, base and salts. Right, children? So this is your electrolyte. So what are the characteristics of a good electrolyte? Good electrolyte किसे बोलेंगे? Good electrolyte is that which is soluble in water. First thing, that it should get mixed up with water, right? Second thing, it should give good, it should be very good conductor of electricity, means it should give good amount of energy, right? So it should be good conductor of electricity, right? And second thing, oh, the money, okay, they should not be expensive, right? It should be cheap. So children, these are the three characteristics of a good electrolyte. First thing, the electrolyte should be soluble in water. Second, it should be good conductor of electricity. We do not want that weak ones, right? We want good conductors of electricity. And thirdly, we want that it should be cheap. We want that it should be cheap, right, children? Okay.